what I did with the peaches I had left over, honey. This is so good.
Use the jam butter. I didn't put any butter.
Several long days later.
So the peaches had been waiting on me for a long time in the refrigerator. Every time I opened the refrigerator, they were like, hello, come help us. And then my patient's daughter gave me even some more peaches from her garden. And I was like, okay, I got to do something with these peaches. And to be honest, I was tired and I really didn't feel like doing anything. But I said, okay, I'm going to at least clean them and put them in the freezer, and then later I could do the rest. But honestly, sis, once I got started, I just kept going, and it's really super easy and doesn't take a lot of time. So I want you to stop buying jam, that sugary crap from the grocery store, and make your own jam. So the very first thing that we are going to do is wash our peaches and then cut them up. I do not peel the peaches. I grew these from my own backyard. They're biodynamically, so they're more than organically grown. And then I know that my patient's daughter, she grows organically as well. She doesn't use pesticides or sprays or anything like that. So I'm not peeling the peaches. So once you get the peaches all nice and washed, this recipe is going to call for 4 cups of peaches, and I knew I had more than that, so I wanted to see how many actual batches that I could get. It turned out to be, even though I had a few peaches that went bad, it turned out to be 12 cups, so I was able to do 3 batches, which yielded me, I believe, 9 jars, 8-ounce jars. We'll see at the end, but I was very satisfied with that. And then once you get your peaches already, and you need to know exactly how many peaches you have, just in case you want to do multiple batches like me, you need to know, so you can, the rest of the ingredients that you add are going to be based on a per batch basis. So I got a total of 12 cups, and I didn't want to use 2 pots, so hopefully we don't have any issues here. But I'm just going to cook this down, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to wash out my jars and have them ready, get the water going for the canner. It's been about 15 minutes. All right, so I've washed my jars with hot soapy water, and then I'm going to heat them up. Not boil them, but heat them up. And you only have to do this when you're doing water bath canning. You don't have to do this step when you're doing pressure canning, because the high pressure kills any bacteria. But you would just have to wash them with soap and water, and then you could use them with a water bath. And let's just see how many jars we can get in here. Now for the lids, the only thing that you need to put in the water, you don't boil it, you just keep it in hot water until you're ready to use them. Same for the jars, is these. Only the lid, you don't need this screw part, whatever this part. So I'm just going to wash these off and then rinse them off and set them aside. And then wash these off and put them in the boiling water. Not the boiling water, the hot water, the hot water. So I have some low or no sugar pectin. So if you're going to be using like no sugar, or like today I'm using half sugar, then you want to get the low or no sugar pectin, which I'll leave links to everything that I'm using in the description box. Also, if you're new to canning, you need to get a canning book. The one that I use is the Ball. I have 2 of them. I have this one. I think this may not be the new one. Hold on. And I have this one. I don't know which one is the new one. I think this one is the new one. But anyway, they go over the canning basics with you. So on page 415 and this one, 4:15, they tell you about water bath canning and all things that you need to do, blah blah blah. So also, like I said, I'll leave a link. You know, this is just a inexpensive kit. You need to make sure you have all the necessary tools before you start canning. You need canning jars. I'm using my pressure canner to water bath can, but it's totally not necessary, but that's what I'm doing. You can use a regular. When I first canned my strawberries, I just used a regular, the same thing that I'm cooking the strawberries, the jam, the stuff in right now, the peaches in. I just use a regular pot. I'm just gonna throw mine in here because this is occupied. So let's have a look. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mash these up. Not mash them up, what do you call it? Blend them. Okay, so at this point right here, it smells so good in here. But this is the point, at this point right here, I'm going to turn the stove off while I'm blending. I'm just going to turn the stove off while I'm blending. But I don't remember, and I didn't record anywhere, which I will do today, how much monk fruit and stuff that I put in here. So before, be very careful doing this. You can blend this up to your liking. If you want chunks of peaches, then leave some chunky bits. If you want it nice and smooth, then just be careful because this is hot. Okay, so I figured out how much sugar / monk fruit that I want to put in. This is going to be a low sugar recipe, but I do have another recipe for no sugar, and I'll share with you when I do my strawberry jam video, because I use no sugar. I use honey. I made 2 different versions. I made one with honey, and then I made one with all monk fruit, but this one in particular is half monk fruit and half sugar. I just cannot see myself putting 7 cups of sugar into 4 cups of fruit. I just cannot. So for this particular recipe, I'm only using 1 cup of sugar and half a cup of monk fruit for every 4 cups of peaches. So now what I'm doing is adding the pectin. So once you've let the peaches cook down, now you don't have to blend them at all if you don't want to. But once you get the peaches to the consistency that you like, I don't like lumpy, clumpy peaches and fruits, pieces of fruit in there. So I blended mine really, really smooth, but it's up to you. That's the joy of making your own jam. You could do it however you want to, honey, and you can switch it up too. So anyway, the pectin is what is going to thicken the jam. So the very first time I made this, to me, I put too much pectin in it. It was too thick, too chunky. I don't really like that. And then this time, it was maybe not as thick as I would like. So I had to find that medium. But there's a test that you're supposed to do that I didn't do. And I'm going to show you all of that. But at this point, I'm adding my pectin. So in this one, I added 3 tablespoons, and the other one I added 4 tablespoons, the one that was thicker. So you're going to add 3 to 4 tablespoons depending upon your liking, and it's going to be dependent on the fruit and all of that. So you do this test that I'm going to show you, before you do the canning. Okay, that's how you figure out if you need to add more pectin or not. Now, once you add your pectin, you let this get to a rolling boil. You do not leave this pot. Make sure you have everything next to you that you need. Let it get to a rolling boil. Rolling boil means that once you stir it, the boiling doesn't stop. It continues to bubble, and then you can add your sugar. Once you add your sugar, you set the timer for 1 minute, and then you turn it off, and it's ready to go to the next step. Okay, so now at this point, Once you've added your sugar and your sweetener, you let it boil continuously for 1 minute. You're constantly stirring it. You're going to turn the stove down and you're going to do a test, which I forgot to do, nor did I really care, honey. I wasn't even planning on actually doing the entire recipe. I was trying to make it make, okay? This is beautiful lady on YouTube that I follow, and her channel is called Make It Make. Now I know why she calls it Make It Make. Anyway, she has an amazing channel, and that's what I was trying to do. Make it make and not make excuses and just get it done. But I'm going to show you the test in a moment. I'm just going to get my jars out of here. I should get all these lids. This is not the thing I use for the lids, but matter of fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get my jars, what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the thing that I use to pick up the lids. Trying to do this and film. You know what? I didn't do my little test. I don't even care, but I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for you. Okay, hold on. All right, so basically, you just take a little bit and you kind of smudge it like that. You kind of let it dry. See how thick it gets? I don't really care, to be honest with you. So, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. Right? So once you let that cool for about 30 seconds, then you can just take your finger or a spoon and see if it'll roll down, if it's like an actual jam texture. If it's too thin, then you're going to add more pectin. But if it's how you like, then you're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to finish filling our jars. We're going to be sure to leave a 1/2 inch headspace. Be sure to check your recipe if you're using another recipe for something else. Make sure that you know what headspace to leave. But for ours, it's a 1/2 inch headspace. Okay, so it should be, okay, so that actually, it's not going to be thick enough. That's how it's gonna be. But guess what? I don't care. So you can put four tablespoons of the, what you call them if you want it thicker. Okay, so now that we're all done with that, we want to wipe off the rims, and I'm using some vinegar that I'm gonna put on some paper towel, and I'm just going to clean off the rim, right? This is so you can make sure you get a good seal, right? Because you want these to last. So I'm done with all that. Now I can just put my lids on there. I think it's going to be just fine. You don't have to dry them off. You're supposed to take them out while they're hot, but they are cool, but it's all good. It's all good. They're still nice and clean. Ring tight. Just like that. Okay? Alright. And then we're going to put these in the canner for 10 minutes. Make sure your water is boiling. Make sure your jars are still hot. Okay, so after the 10 minutes, I've turned off the heat, And I'm going to let it cool off for 5 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and then we can take them out of the jar and let them sit overnight. And there we have it. So we're going to, you hear that popping? That means they're sealing. The goal is to get them all to seal. We will check them after 24 hours, and then we'll be able to unscrew these caps. Okay, so it's 24 hours later. I'm thinking, yeah, because it's moving. So then I know that it's not as thick as I should have put forward. It's all good though. So how you test it is, test it by taking off the lid and doing it like that. But now I'm thinking, I was talking to my husband, Mr. Picky. I am a little bit disappointed. It's not as thick, but honey, I made some amazing recipes already. I made some oatmeal bars, and they were perfect for this. But this is just to show you, this is the texture of the first one. So that is more jam-like. So next time, I think I would go with I'm not even into peaches like that. The 4, or you know, just make sure I do the test, because it really depends on what's going on with the fruit, how ripe it is, blah blah blah. So let's give it a taste. I had some that was left over. I had some piece of biscuit, like homemade biscuit. Biscuit is flaky. This was falling apart. Turn it on. Man, it's so good. Oh. How are you doing that so slow?
Use the jam butter. I didn't put any butter.
Okay. What's it taste like? Is that okay?
Yeah, peaches.
Tastes like peaches. You like it?
Yeah, it could be a little bit thicker.
I know that part.
Oh, yeah, but it's good. Not too sweet.
Okay. Why are you doing it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
You're not talking.
Because I'm chewing. Your mama said don't eat with food in your mouth.
Okay. But you keep eating it.
But that can tell you that's good then, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a nice, not too sweet. I don't like store jam be all sweet, make your lip pucker up.
Yeah.
Diabetes in the jar. This is just right.
Yeah. It's nice and peachy, right?
Yep. I just wish that it could have been a little thicker. Because,
Now you make me want to go or empty them all and put them in the pot again and thicken them up.
Okay.
So this is my homemade soy yogurt, which is Rain Fab, and I put the jam in there. I actually like it, this texture. It mixes well, it blends well, and I would say I would like it a little bit, just a tad bit thicker, because it's more almost like a sauce. But honey, it was delicious, okay? And I just mixed it up with this, this is how I sweeten the yogurt, and then I put fruit and stuff, and not fruit, yeah, fruit and nuts, and it was excellent.
Several long days later.
So I almost forgot to show you this peach oatmeal bar that I made with a jam. It is rain fab. But let's see what Mr. Picky has to say. Okay, I have a question. So I'm editing my video, and I wanted to make sure I put this oatmeal bar in here to show what I made with the jam.
Yes.
Okay, so one of my questions to you is, since you've been eating the jam for about 2 weeks now.
Smooth and flavorful jam, yes I have.
Even though it was not as thick, what would you say about it now?
What, the jam? Oh, yeah, well, I had it on some bagels this morning. It was nice and smooth, and it's very tasty.
So,
yeah, it's good jam.
Okay, but it's because you were like, you wanted me to go ahead and redo it.
No, don't redo it, because it reminds me, you know how those jams, used to buy those jams in a squeeze bottle. It's kind of like that. So it was actually worked out fine.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
So what we got right here?
That's the peach oatmeal bar that we made with the jam.
So I'm assuming you want me to try this, huh? Oh, it's not too light in here, right?
No, let me see. Oh.
Just turn the light switch on. Okay.
I don't know if that's any better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I'm trying to get the inside of it. Okay, well that's all we got. Anyway, it's peach jam on the inside of there.
And peach jam.
Yeah. Do you like it?
That's good.
You like it?
Folks don't know what they're missing. Tea, coffee, or just on some ice cream.
How does the jam taste in there?
The jam, well, it's warm. Of course, it's heated up, so the heat awakens the peach flavor. It's all kind of permeating throughout the crust in this tasty, delightful treat.
And this was frozen, so I made the whole thing, and then I put them in the freezer. I cut them up and put them in the freezer. And then I just took it out the freezer and put it in the.
It's the best frozen dessert. Better than going by and Marie Callender's frozen. Get my Shaw Poppins right here.